I'm standing outside my son's apartment door, and the crying won't stop. It's been 20 minutes of non-stop wailing, the kind that tells you something's wrong. My nursing instinct kicks in before I can second-guess myself. I use my emergency key. The apartment is a mess. Dishes pile high in the sink. Baby bottles sit unwashed on the counter. And there's my daughter-in-law Jessica, passed out cold on the couch while 6-month-old Mason screams in his crib. I rush to him immediately. His face is flushed bright red, his tiny body burning up. I press my hand to his forehead, fever, definitely over 101 degrees. His lips look dry. Dehydration. I scoop him up, cradling him against my chest as I head to the kitchen for a cool cloth. That's when Jessica's eyes snap open. She bolts upright, staring at me with wild confusion. Then her face twists with rage. "Why are you touching him, why baby?" she screams, stumbling toward me. My heart pounds. I hold Mason closer, his sobs finally quieting against my shoulder. "Jessica, he has a fever. He's been crying for. Get out of my house." I don't move. Mason's still burning up in my arms, and I can't just hand him back without making sure he's okay. "Jessica, listen to me. I'm a nurse. Mason needs medical attention. His fever is high and he's showing signs of dehydration." She crosses her arms, swaying slightly. Dark circles shadow her eyes. "I can take care of my own son. You had no right to come in here." The door was locked, but I heard him crying for so long. I got worried. I keep my voice calm, professional. "When did you last check his temperature?" Jessica's face flushes. I don't know. I just laid down for a minute." I glance at the clock. It's 2:47 p.m. The apartment looks like it hasn't been cleaned in days. Empty takeout containers cover the coffee table. Jessica's still in yesterday's clothes. Mason whimpers against my neck. I bounce him gently, feeling his little body relax. Let me just cool him down and make sure he's stable. Then we can talk. She opens her mouth to argue, but the apartment door swings open. My son Ryan walks in, grocery bags in hand. He freezes, taking in the scene, me holding Mason, Jessica furious, the messy apartment. His face goes pale. But he's not looking at Jessica. He's staring at me like I've done something terrible. Ryan sets down the groceries slowly. "Mom, what's going on?" Before I can explain, Jessica bursts into tears. She just barged in here like she owns the place. She acts like she's Mason's mother instead of me. "Ryan, Mason has a fever," I say firmly. I heard him crying and came to help. Ryan runs his hand through his hair, stress written all over his face. He walks over and touches Mason's forehead, then looks at Jessica. "Jess, why didn't you call me?" "I was just resting," she whispers. "I'm so tired, Ryan. I'm so tired." Something breaks in Ryan's expression. He guides Jessica to the couch and tells me to take Mason to the nursery. I do, grateful for the chance to properly check him over. His temperature is 102.3. Not emergency level, but concerning. I find infant Tylenol and administer the correct dose, then change his diaper. He's definitely dehydrated, the diaper's barely wet. I make a bottle and he drinks eagerly. 20 minutes later, Ryan appears in the doorway. He closes the door behind him. "Mom, I need to tell you something." His voice is barely a whisper. Jessica's been struggling. More than she admits. I've been working double shifts to pay bills, and she's alone with Mason all day. She's exhausted and won't ask for help. I nod, understanding dawning. "Ryan, I can help. You just need to." "Can you?" he interrupts desperately. "Can you help us? Just for a while?" Behind him, the doorknob rattles. Jessica's voice cuts through. "I knew you'd take her side." The door flies open. She grabs her purse and Mason's carrier. We're leaving. It's 1:13 a.m. when my phone explodes with ringing. I jolt awake, heart hammering. Ryan's name flashes on the screen. Mom, Mason's fever is back. It's worse. Jessica can't, she's freaking out and I don't know what to do. I'm already pulling on clothes. I'm coming. What's his temperature? 103.7, he threw up twice. Mom, please hurry. I grab my nursing bag and keys. The drive takes 12 minutes that feel like hours. When I reach their apartment, I can hear Jessica crying through the door. I knock firmly. Ryan, it's me. Silence. Then footsteps. The door cracks open, Ryan's face is sheet white. She doesn't want you here. I don't care what she wants right now. That baby needs help. I push past him gently. Jessica stands in the living room, Mason limp in her arms, both of them crying. Stay away from us, she sobs. You think I'm a bad mother. You think. Mason suddenly gags and vomits down Jessica's shirt. She screams, nearly dropping him. I move on instinct, taking Mason before she loses her grip completely. Jessica collapses onto the couch, sobbing into her hands. I'm already assessing Mason, pale, lethargic, definitely dehydrated now. Ryan, we need to go to urgent care. Now. Jessica doesn't protest this time. At urgent care, they give Mason 4 fluids and medication. The doctor confirms he has a viral infection but will recover with proper care. Jessica sits in the corner, staring at the wall, silent tears streaming down her face. Ryan holds her hand, but she won't look at him. The doctor asks who'll be monitoring Mason at home. Ryan glances at Jessica, then at me. My mom's a pediatric nurse. She can stay with us tonight. Jessica doesn't react. She's shutting down completely. We get home at 4:30 a.m. I settle on the couch with Mason sleeping peacefully in my arms, finally cool and hydrated. Ryan covers us with a blanket. Thank you, Mom, he whispers. I don't know what we'd do without you. I doze off holding my grandson. When I wake 3 hours later, sunlight streams through the windows. Mason's still asleep, breathing steadily. The apartment is quiet. Too quiet. I look up to find Jessica standing in the hallway, staring at us. Her expression is impossible to read, part resentment, part something darker. She watches me holding her son for a long moment, then turns away. As she disappears into the bedroom, I hear her whisper to someone, maybe to herself, maybe to Ryan, she wants him more than I do. The words chill me to my core. 3 days later, Ryan calls. His voice cracks immediately. Mom, I need to ask you something, and I know it's huge. I grip the phone tighter. What is it? Can you take Mason? Just for a week. Maybe 2. He talks fast, words tumbling out. Jessica's not sleeping. She's barely eating. Yesterday I came home and she was just staring at the wall while Mason cried. Mom, I'm scared. I think she needs professional help, but she refuses to see anyone. My heart aches for all of them. Ryan, of course I'll take him. But Jessica needs to agree to this. I'll convince her, he promises. She knows she's not okay. She's just too proud to admit it. An hour later, Ryan shows up with Mason and 2 bags of baby supplies. Jessica stays in the car, refusing to come to the door. Through the windshield, I see her face, blank and exhausted. I wave gently. She doesn't wave back. Ryan hands me Mason, who's already reaching for me, recognizing my face. Mom, seriously. Thank you. We'll figure this out. As they drive away, I catch Jessica turning to look back. Her stare is cold and unreadable. Something about it makes my skin prickle. But Mason coos in my arms, and I push the feeling aside. He needs me. That's all that matters right now. The next 5 days are wonderful. Mason thrives. He sleeps through the night, eats well, and smiles constantly. I send Ryan updates and photos, Mason playing with stacking cups, Mason during tummy time, Mason giggling at my cat. Ryan responds with heart emojis and grateful messages. Jessica doesn't respond at all. On day 6, I send a photo of Mason laughing at peekaboo. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzes with a text from Jessica, having fun playing mommy? I stare at the message, unsure how to respond. Before I can type anything, another text comes through, you think you're so much better than me. Then another, I don't trust your mother with my child. This one sent to Ryan but accidentally sent to our group chat. My stomach drops. I call Ryan immediately. Did you see Jessica's messages? He sighs heavily. Yeah. Mom, I'm sorry. She's getting worse, not better. I scheduled a therapy appointment for her, but she canceled it. She's fixated on the idea that you're trying to replace her. That's not true, I say firmly. I'm just helping. I know that. But she doesn't see it that way. He pauses. Just, be careful, okay? She's not herself right now. That night, I can't sleep. Jessica's words echo in my mind. I look at Mason sleeping peacefully in the crib beside my bed and wonder what I've gotten myself into. The next morning, Jessica shows up unannounced. No text, no call, just her banging on my door at 8:47 a.m. I open it, still in my pajamas. Jessica, hi. I wasn't expecting. I'm here to see my son, she interrupts, pushing past me into the house. Mason's in his bouncer in the living room. Jessica walks through my home like an inspector, eyes scanning everything. She opens the cabinet under my sink, cleaning supplies locked away safely. She checks the outlet covers, the cabinet locks, even looks inside my fridge. What are you doing? I ask, trying to stay calm. Making sure my baby is safe. She picks up Mason, who immediately starts fussing. He reaches back toward me, which makes Jessica's jaw clench. She walks to the nursery setup I created in my spare room. Her eyes land on the baby monitor. This is on all the time? Yes, whenever he's sleeping. She picks up a toy from the floor, a soft stuffed elephant. You just leave toys lying around where he could choke? He can't even crawl yet, Jessica. It's safe. She doesn't respond, just pulls out her phone. I watch in confusion as she holds it up, pointing it at me, picking up another toy from the floor. The angle is weird, making it look like I'm hovering over Mason dangerously. Click. She takes the photo. What are you doing? I ask, alarm bells ringing. Jessica smirks. Documenting. She scoops up Mason and heads for the door. I'll be back tomorrow. Be ready. That evening, I overhear everything by accident. Ryan calls to check on Mason, but he doesn't realize he's pocket-dialed me. I'm about to hang up when I hear Jessica's voice, sharp and angry. Your mother is the problem. Can't you see that? She swoops in, acting like she's the hero, but she's making me look incompetent. Jess, that's not what's happening, Ryan says, exhaustion heavy in his tone. Mom's helping us. You said you needed a break. I didn't need her. I needed you. But you're never home, and when you are, you just defend her. Her voice rises to a shout. She's trying to steal my baby, Ryan. She posts all those photos like he's hers. That's not fair. I'll make sure she never keeps my child again, Jessica says coldly. I don't care what it takes. I hear footsteps approaching, and suddenly I'm standing in Ryan's living room. I drove over when I heard the chaos. The door is ajar. I push it open just as Jessica spins around. Her face goes pale. You. Ryan looks between us, horrified. Mom, how long have you been? Long enough, I say quietly. Jessica, I'm not your enemy. I'm trying to help. You're trying to replace me, she hisses. And I won't let you. Over the next week, Jessica acts strangely sweet. She calls asking me to babysit more often. I have a doctor's appointment, she says. Or, I need to run errands. Each time, she smiles too brightly when she drops Mason off. But something feels wrong. Every time she brings him, essential items are missing. No diapers. No formula. No change of clothes. The first time, I assume it's an accident. The second time, I'm suspicious. By the third time, I know it's deliberate. Jessica, there's no formula in the diaper bag again, I say carefully when she drops Mason off Thursday morning. She blinks innocently. Oh, I must have forgotten. Can't you just use what you have? I don't keep formula here because you bring it. She shrugs. Figure it out. You're the experienced one, right? She's gone before I can respond. I drive to the store, frustrated and confused. When I return, I find 3 missed calls from Jessica. I call back, and she answers immediately. Did you leave Mason alone to go shopping? Her voice is accusatory. I took him with me, Jessica. He's right here. Oh. She sounds almost disappointed. Okay. Just checking. That's when I realize she's setting me up. She wants me to fail, to prove I'm unfit. My hands shake as I feed Mason his bottle. What is she planning? The next day, Jessica drops Mason off looking distracted and tense. She barely speaks, just hands him over and rushes away. Mason seems fussy, pulling at his sleeve. During a diaper change, I notice it, a small bruise on his upper arm, about the size of a thumbprint. My blood runs cold. It's not serious, but it shouldn't be there. I text Jessica immediately, Mason has a bruise on his left arm. Did something happen? 20 minutes pass. No response. I call. It goes to voicemail. Finally, 3 hours later, she texts back, stop making up drama. There's no bruise. I take a photo of it and send it to her. There is. I just want to make sure he's okay. My phone rings instantly. Jessica's voice is ice. Are you accusing me of hurting my own son? No. I'm just asking what happened. You're trying to build a case against me, she spits. You're documenting things to make me look bad. I know what you're doing. Jessica, I'm worried about Mason. That's all. You're worried about making yourself look good, she snaps. This is exactly what I warned Ryan about. You're manipulative and obsessed. She hangs up. I sit there, shocked and shaking. Mason plays happily on his mat, oblivious. The bruise is real. I didn't imagine it. But now Jessica's spinning this into something ugly. I call Ryan. We need to talk. Now. Ryan comes over during his lunch break. I show him the bruise, which is already starting to fade. He touches it gently, then sighs. Mom, this could be from anything. Babies bruise easy. I know that. But Jessica's reaction worries me more than the bruise. I tell him about the missing supplies, the strange behavior, the setup attempts. Ryan sinks into my couch, head in his hands. She's getting worse. Last night she accused me of loving you more than her. She's barely sleeping. When I suggested therapy again, she threw a plate. Ryan, Mason can't go back there until things stabilize, I say firmly. It's not safe, not because of the bruise, but because Jessica's clearly in crisis. She'll never agree to that. Then you need to agree to it, I say. As his father, you can make this call. Keep Mason here until Jessica gets help. I'll document everything properly, pediatrician checkups, safe environment, all of it. He's quiet for a long moment. Finally, he nods. Okay. But let me talk to her first. That conversation goes as badly as expected. At 9:47 p.m., someone pounds on my door so hard the frame rattles. Jessica's voice screams through, "Open this door. Give me back my son." I stand with my back against the door, Mason asleep upstairs, my phone in my hand. "Jessica, it's late." "Mason's sleeping. We can talk tomorrow. I want my baby now." She pounds again. "You can't keep him from me. I'm calling the police." "Go ahead," I say, my voice steadier than I feel. I have nothing to hide. The pounding stops. Through the peephole, I watch Jessica pull out her phone, her face twisted with rage. Ryan's car pulls up, and he jumps out, grabbing her arms. They argue on my lawn, her screaming, him trying to calm her down. I can't hear the words, but I see her point at my house, at me. Then she shoves Ryan away and storms to her car. Ryan approaches my door, looking defeated. "Mom, she's serious. She's threatening to call CPS, to tell them you're trying to alienate Mason from her." "Let her," I say, surprising both of us. Maybe someone should come evaluate all of us. An objective third party might be exactly what we need. Ryan stares at me. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure that I've done nothing wrong. I'm sure Mason's safe and loved here. If a social worker needs to confirm that, fine. But Jessica can't keep manipulating this situation." I meet his eyes. "Your wife needs help, Ryan. Real help. And until she gets it, Mason stays with me." He nods slowly, then leaves. I lock the door and lean against it, shaking. Tomorrow, everything changes. The letter arrives 4 days later. Official letterhead, formal language, serious accusations. I read it twice, my vision blurring with tears and anger. Jessica filed a report claiming, "I have an unsafe home environment. I'm trying to alienate Mason from his mother. I have questionable judgment and mental competence. I'm unfit to care for an infant." The words feel like knives. After 30 years as a pediatric nurse, after raising Ryan and his siblings successfully, I'm being called unfit by a woman who left her baby screaming with a fever while she slept. But it's the last line that breaks my heart. Subject attempts to replace biological mother and poses risk to child's psychological development. I call Ryan immediately. He already knows. She showed me the report before she filed it. I tried to stop her, Mom. I swear I did. But she's convinced you're the enemy. What happens now? My voice sounds hollow. A social worker will investigate. They'll interview both of you, inspect both homes, talk to me. He pauses. Mom, I'm going to tell them the truth. All of it. About Jessica's struggles, about why Mason's with you. I can't protect her from herself anymore. After we hang up, I stare at the report, at my name printed there like I'm a criminal. Then I straighten my shoulders. Let them investigate. Let them see the truth. I start documenting everything, photos of my home, Mason's schedule, his medical records, every text message from Jessica. If she wants a war, I'll fight it with facts. The social worker arrives on a Wednesday morning without warning. I'm feeding Mason breakfast when the doorbell rings. A professional-looking woman in her 40s stands there with a clipboard. Mrs. Chin? I'm Amanda Foster from Child Protective Services. May I come in? My heart races, but I step aside. Of course. She walks through my home with careful eyes, noting everything. The outlet covers. The locked cabinets. The baby-proofed corners. The spotless kitchen. Mason's safe sleep space. She checks the smoke detectors, asks about my water temperature, inspects the medications in my bathroom, all locked away, clearly labeled. Mason sits in his high chair, happily gumming a teething biscuit. Amanda approaches him gently. Hello there, buddy. You look happy. He grins at her, biscuit covered and content. She turns to me. Walk me through a typical day. I do feeding schedules, nap times, play activities, walks to the park. I show her the log I've kept of every feeding, every diaper change, every milestone. I show her Mason's pediatrician records from last week, all clear, healthy, thriving. You're very thorough, Amanda observes. I was a pediatric nurse for 30 years, I explain. Thorough is my default. She writes something down. I'll need to see the child's primary residence next. The one with his parents. Of course. But I should prepare you, it's not in the same condition as this home. Amanda's pen pauses. She looks at me carefully. Tell me more about that. Amanda visits Ryan and Jessica's apartment the next day. I'm not there, but Ryan calls me afterward, his voice shaken. Mom, the social worker asked Jessica about the photos she submitted with her report. You know, the one of you and the toys? What about it? Amanda asked why the photo was taken at your house, but Jessica claimed it showed your negligent supervision at their apartment. Jessica couldn't explain it. Then Amanda found more inconsistencies, dates that didn't match, stories that contradicted text messages. My heart pounds. What did Jessica say? She got defensive. Started crying, saying everyone's against her. Then Amanda asked to see the baby monitor footage. I go still. The monitor? Yeah. Apparently they save footage to the cloud. Jessica didn't know that. Ryan's voice drops to a whisper. Mom, there's footage from the day you used your key to come in. It shows everything, Mason crying for 20 minutes, Jessica completely unconscious, you taking care of him. Tears sting my eyes. That proves I was helping, not interfering. There's more, Ryan says. There's footage from other days too. Days when Jessica left Mason crying while she scrolled on her phone. Days when she didn't change him for hours. Amanda watched all of it. For a moment, I can't speak. Then, how's Jessica? Falling apart, he admits. She realizes what this looks like. What it is. That night, Ryan shows up at my door alone. He's been crying, his eyes are red, his face blotchy. Mom, I need to tell you everything. I should have told you months ago. We sit at my kitchen table while Mason sleeps upstairs. Ryan talks for an hour, and I listen with a breaking heart. Jessica's postpartum depression started early, but she refused to acknowledge it. Ryan begged her to see someone. She said he was overreacting. The sleep deprivation made everything worse. She became convinced everyone was judging her, her friends, her family, especially me. She saw how naturally you cared for Mason, and it made her feel like a failure, Ryan explains. Instead of asking for help, she decided you were the problem. She convinced herself you wanted to take Mason from her. I only ever wanted to help, I whisper. I know. But she couldn't see that. He wipes his eyes. I should have stepped in sooner. I should have insisted she get help. I should have protected Mason better. Instead, I tried to keep the peace, and look where that got us. Did I ruin my own family? He asks, voice breaking. By not standing up to her sooner? By letting this get so bad? I reach across and squeeze his hand. No. You're standing up now. That's what matters. And Jessica needs help, not judgment. We all failed to see how deep this went. I'm scared, he admits. Scared of what happens next. To Jessica. To us. To Mason. We'll figure it out, I promise. Together. Amanda returns to my house 3 days later. This time, she asks to see my baby monitor app. I need to verify timestamps and footage for my report. I hand over my phone without hesitation. She scrolls through recordings, comparing them to Jessica's claims. I watch her eyebrows rise as she finds video after video of Mason happy, safe, and thriving in my care. Then she finds something else. She leans forward, replaying a clip. Mrs. Chen, what is this from? I look at the screen. It's footage from a day Jessica dropped Mason off, filmed from the living room. You can hear her voice from the entryway, talking on the phone to someone. Amanda turns up the volume. Jessica's voice comes through clearly. I'm giving her more opportunities to mess up. Eventually, she'll slip, and I'll have my proof. Then I can get her out of our lives for good. My blood runs cold. Jessica was deliberately setting me up, creating situations where I might fail, hoping to catch me making mistakes. Amanda looks at me. You didn't know about this? No, I whisper. But it explains so much. She makes a note, then closes my phone. Mrs. Chen, I have what I need. I'll be filing my report by end of week. After she leaves, I sit in my quiet living room, processing everything. Jessica wasn't just struggling with postpartum depression. She was actively trying to destroy my relationship with my grandson. And the evidence is all on video. Amanda's investigation shifts dramatically. I can tell from Ryan's updates that Jessica's losing control of her narrative. The contradictions are piling up. The evidence doesn't support her claims. And her own behavior during interviews isn't helping. She got hostile with Amanda, Ryan tells me over the phone. Started accusing her of being biased toward you because you're a nurse. Amanda stayed professional, but I could see she was taking notes. Jessica calls me directly that night, the first time she's initiated contact in weeks. You think you've won, don't you? I take a deep breath. Jessica, this isn't about winning. Yes, it is, she screams. You've turned everyone against me. Ryan, the social worker, probably even Mason. You'll regret this. All of you will regret making me look like the villain. Her words are sharp, but underneath them, I hear something else, desperation. Fear. A woman watching her world crumble because she refused to ask for help when she needed it most. I hope you get the help you need, I say quietly. For your sake and for Mason's. She hangs up. The silence that follows feels heavier than her anger. Amanda schedules a final interview with Jessica. I'm not present, but Ryan is. He texts me updates throughout. She's already defensive before questions even start. Amanda asked about the baby monitor footage. Jessica says it's taken out of context. Jessica just called you obsessed and manipulative. Amanda asked for specific examples. She can't give any. This is bad. She's unraveling. The interview lasts 2 hours. When Amanda abruptly stands and says, I have enough, Jessica apparently realizes how badly it went. Ryan calls me afterward. She asked Amanda what happens now. Amanda said she'd have her report completed within 24 hours and that all parties would be notified of her findings. How's Jessica? Silent. Completely shut down. It's like she finally understands the weight of what she started. That night, I can't sleep. Tomorrow, Amanda's report will determine everything: Mason's living situation, Jessica's custody, our family's future. I've done everything right. I know I have. But the waiting is agony. I check on Mason sleeping peacefully in his crib. Whatever happens, he's safe right now. He's loved. That has to be enough. Amanda calls me at 9:03 a.m. Mrs. Chen, I've completed my investigation. I'd like to review my findings with you before filing the official report. She arrives an hour later, and we sit in my living room. She opens her tablet, and I brace myself. Based on my comprehensive investigation, including home visits, interviews, medical records, and video evidence, I'm concluding the following: you did nothing wrong. In fact, your intervention likely prevented harm to the child. Relief floods through me so powerfully I almost cry. Amanda continues, Jessica misrepresented multiple facts in her report. The photo evidence was misleading. Her allegations of unsafe conditions are unfounded. Your home meets and exceeds safety standards for infant care. She looks up at me. Furthermore, the baby monitor footage shows a pattern of you providing appropriate, professional-level care while Jessica demonstrated clear signs of postpartum mental health struggles. What happens now? I ask. I'm recommending the current arrangement continue. Mason remains in your care while Jessica receives mandatory mental health treatment. I'm also recommending supervised visitation initially. I nod, processing this. And Jessica? How did she react? Amanda's expression softens with something like pity. She's in denial, but reality is setting in. Which brings me to one more thing you should know. She pauses, and my heart races. What is it? During my final interview with Jessica, she admitted she never believed you were actually unfit. She said she filed the report because she wanted ammunition to force you out of Mason's life permanently. She was hoping for a paper trail that would make you look dangerous. The confession is stunning. Jessica knowingly filed a false report not because she believed Mason was in danger, but because she wanted control. The official recommendation arrives 2 days later. Amanda's report states clearly, Mason should remain with me for a minimum of 3 months while Jessica completes intensive therapy and parenting classes. After that, gradual reintegration with supervised visits. Jessica receives the news at Ryan and Amanda's office. Ryan's there when she reads it. He tells me later that she screamed, "Over my dead body," before storming out. But the recommendation stands. CPS doesn't take false reports lightly, especially when they involve elaborate setups and deliberate misrepresentations. Jessica has no choice but to comply or risk losing more custody time. Ryan apologizes to me for the 100th time. I should have stopped this before it started. You're protecting Mason now, I remind him. That's what matters. Jessica refuses to speak to anyone for a week. Then, her mother calls me, something that's never happened before. Margaret, I need you to understand something, she says carefully. Jessica's always struggled with feeling inadequate. When she became a mother, those fears intensified. She saw how naturally you connected with Mason and felt threatened instead of supported. I never meant to make her feel that way, I say honestly. I know. But she couldn't see your help as help. She saw it as criticism. There's a long pause. She needs time. And therapy. A lot of therapy. But I hope, she can heal from this. I hope so too. For everyone's sake. The mandatory family meeting happens 3 weeks later. It's at a therapist's office, neutral territory. Jessica, Ryan, me, and a family counselor named Dr. Morrison. We sit in a circle. Jessica won't look at me. Dr. Morrison starts gently, "This is a space for honest conversation. Jessica, would you like to start?" Jessica's silent for a long time. Then, barely above a whisper, I was drowning. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't think straight. Every time Margaret helped, it felt like she was showing me how much I was failing. Her voice breaks. I convinced myself she wanted to replace me. That if I wasn't careful, Mason would love her more than me. So I decided to push her out first. By filing a false report, Dr. Morrison says gently but firmly. Jessica finally looks at me, and I see something I haven't seen before, genuine remorse. I didn't think it would go this far. I don't know what I wanted. Control, maybe. Proof that I mattered more than you did. Tears streamed down her face. I lied. I manipulated evidence. I tried to destroy your reputation because I was so scared and angry and jealous. And I'm so sorry. The apology lands in the space between us, imperfect but real. I don't expect you to forgive me, she continues. I just need you to know that you were never the problem. I was. My fear was. My pride was. Dr. Morrison looks at me. Margaret, would you like to respond? I take a deep breath, looking at Jessica, really seeing her for the first time in months. Not as an enemy or obstacle, but as a young mother who fell apart and didn't know how to ask for help. Jessica, what you did was wrong. You filed a false report that could have destroyed my reputation and my relationship with my grandson. You deliberately tried to make me look dangerous. She nods, tears still falling. But I also understand you were struggling. That doesn't excuse it, but it explains it. I lean forward. I never wanted to replace you. I only ever wanted to support you. If I made you feel inadequate, I'm sorry too. Dr. Morrison intervenes. Amanda's report contained one more piece of evidence we need to discuss. Jessica, would you like to explain what you told the social worker during your final interview? Jessica wipes her eyes. She pulls out her phone and opens a voice memo. Amanda asked me to record something for the file. She said it might help everyone heal. She presses play. Her voice comes through, shaky but clear. I knowingly filed a false CPS report against Margaretchen. She was never unfit to care for my son. I fabricated concerns and manipulated evidence because I felt threatened by her competence and connection with Mason. I lied. She didn't deserve any of this. The truth is, she probably saved my son's life when I couldn't care for him properly. I was the danger, not her. The recording stops. The room is silent. I didn't mean for it to go this far, Jessica whispers again. I just kept digging myself deeper, and I couldn't find a way out without admitting I was wrong. Ryan reaches for her hand. But you're admitting it now. That's what matters. Dr. Morrison looks at all of us. Healing from this will take time. Trust has been broken on multiple levels. But with continued therapy, honest communication, and clear boundaries, families can recover from even deep wounds. I meet Jessica's eyes across the circle. I don't know if we'll ever be close. But for Mason's sake, I'm willing to try. She nods. That's more than I deserve. 3 months later, life looks different. Jessica completes her intensive therapy program and starts supervised visits with Mason. At first, they're awkward, she's nervous, he's hesitant. But slowly, with support, their bond begins rebuilding. I remain Mason's primary caregiver, but Jessica visits 3 times a week now. Sometimes Ryan comes. Sometimes she comes alone. We're learning to coexist in Mason's life without competing. One afternoon, Jessica arrives for her visit and actually asks me a question: how do you get him to nap so easily? He fights me every time. I show her the routine, the white noise, the specific rocking rhythm, the timing. She tries it, and Mason settles in her arms. Her face lights up with wonder and relief. Thank you, she says quietly. For teaching me instead of just doing it for me. It's a small moment, but it feels monumental. Amanda closes our case officially, noting in her final report, due to transparent cooperation, appropriate intervention, and commitment to family therapy, this case is resolved with positive outcomes. Mrs. Chen's care was necessary and appropriate. Subject has demonstrated growth and is progressing in treatment. The words are vindicating, but they're not what matters most. What matters is Mason, happy and healthy, splitting his time between 2 homes that both love him. Ryan stops by one evening after dropping Jessica at therapy. Mom, I know I've said this before, but thank you. For not giving up on us. For standing firm even when it got ugly. I didn't win by fighting her, I say, watching Mason play with blocks on my living room floor. I won by protecting him. And in the end, that's what revealed the truth. Mason looks up and grins at me, then goes back to stacking blocks. He's safe. He's loved. He's thriving. That's all I ever wanted. And it was worth every painful moment to get here. Retriclod can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.